So my question for today is, can Ireland win the 2027 World Cup? Right? There's a couple doubts as to whether they have the capability to do so. Honestly, I think they do. But do they have the capability to get through the quarterfinals? Right? Because it seems as soon as they get anywhere close to there, things start to happen, people start to fail, composure gets lost, and what ends up happening? It all goes to the shitter. Right? They have such an amazing squad. They are monsters throughout the first three quarters of any tournament. But the moment it comes down to that final bit, something goes wrong. Always, something always goes wrong. Ireland have been number one for a couple of years now, until they were overtaken by South Africa just recently. But if the how can you be so consistently good throughout the year? And when it comes down to the main tournament, the tournament that you need to win, you can't get to the semi-finals. Never mind get to the finals, where you might be playing up against a team like South Africa that have 100% win rate in the finals, right? So you look at the squad that Ireland have. One of my favorite players right now, who's playing absolutely sublimely, is Prendergast. Absolutely love him. He's a real gem for the future. He's someone that can really put a lot of pressure on teams. He's someone that can control games, as you can see in Leinster. He's growing. He's not the most physical, but he is growing. He's becoming stronger. He's becoming faster. He's thinking quicker, right? Where he's not very good physically, he excels mentally, tactically. His ability from anything kicking is absolutely sublime. So a player like him is someone that is able to control the tempo of a game. He's able to break lines, which is something that is going to be needed in 2027, especially up against big teams like France, who are resilient. Teams like Argentina that are resilient. They are just tough and difficult to break down. You know, so having a talent like him mixed in, right? So you got to mix that in with Caelan Doris. He's nominated for, he was nominated for World Player of the Year, losing out to Peter Steph. You have players like Bundy Aki. Let's go through some of these. Let's go through some of these names, right? So I can never pronounce this guy's name. Tog Bierney. Can never get his name. Obviously, you got players like Bundy Aki, Jack Crowley, another one, Caelan Doris, Josh van der Fleer, who's just amazing. Todd Furlong, Mac Hansen, Cian Healy. Then you have Rob Herring, Cormac Izuchukwu, Hugo Keenan, James Lowe. James Lowe is just immense. He is such a good player. You have Calvin Nash, Peter O'Mahony, Tom O'Toole, Andrew Porter. You have Cian Prendergast, Sam Prendergast, and then James Ryan, Nick Timoney, Jacob Stockdale. You know, these are players. They are brilliant players. But what keeps happening at the back end of the tournament? Why do they keep failing? Is it tactical? Right? There has to be something from behind, because you can't have a squad as good as this and consistently keep failing. But now, it's not your first 15 that win you games. It's your 23, right? Because you can have the best 15 in the world. But what happens when someone gets injured? What happens when someone gets replaced? Everything goes down. This is why Springboks are so consistent, no matter what point in a game, because it comes 40, 50, 60 minutes, right? What happens? Substitutes come on, they bring in 6 forwards. Boom. Okay, Now we've got another. Now they've got another thing to deal with. They're now dealing with 6 forwards that are now coming on that are happy to run you down and to break you. Right? So Ireland do not have the depth, at least not yet. Ireland have good rugby. Ireland have good local rugby, like very, very good local rugby. So they have everything that is needed. But I just feel they never have enough at the same time, right? I do also think that the game management, right, the team management is also skewed, especially when it comes to big tournaments. Sure, they can win things like the Six Nations, and I'm not saying the Six Nations is a shit tournament, but when you are put up against the two biggest names in rugby in New Zealand and South Africa, it's a completely different ballgame, right? It is a completely different ballgame because you are talking about two legacy teams that will do anything they possibly can to win. Differently, when New Zealand is more flashy, a bit more flair, got a bit more style. South Africa is very physical. They're very in your face. You know, they're not always the most entertaining team to watch, but they will make sure that you're feeling every single second of that game that you're playing against them. Right? Ireland do actually have a pretty good record up against South Africa. But can they do it in the World Cup? Right? It's a completely different story. So does Ireland have the quality in players? I think so. Do they have the depth in squad? I don't think so. I don't think they have that yet. And it's something that needs to improve. Because if they're going to want to be competing up against the best of the best, they need that depth. Right? Right now, you have someone like Jack Crowley, Sam Prendergast, who they can easily swap between. Right? You have players like Van der Fleer, you have Bundy Aki. Right? But do they have players that can replace them, right? Like for like, same level of quality, same quality of player. Do they have that? I don't think they do. But again, like I say, not yet. They have just under 3 years to prepare for the World Cup. They need to make sure everybody's healthy, everybody's fit, everybody's playing to the top of their game, right? They need to be putting out for competition. They need that youth to be able to step up and really put in some performances, right? Because what happens when Bundy Aki gets injured or when he has to come off? What happens then, right? Do they have the quality to replace like for like? And like I said, I don't think they have that, at least not yet. I love watching Ireland play. They play spectacular rugby, but they need to have more depth, especially if they want to compete on so many different fronts, right? Because again, it's different doing a Six Nations and overdoing a World Cup. World Cups are more grueling. They just are. They are more intense. The quality is way harder. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Maybe I'm being a bit too harsh on Ireland. Honestly, the record speaks for itself. Ireland cannot get through. They can't get past the semis. They just cannot get past the semis. Can they do it? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you guys do like more rugby, please like and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.